What's up, everybody? I think I just stumbled upon real easy money. This could be the new meta, at least for the next day. Look at this. We are consistently finding large deposits of weevil eggs. Look at that. From what I understand, and my calculations are correct, and I'm terrible at math, that's $3 million bucks. How do we find weevil eggs so easy? Well, let me show you. So the last couple days, I've been trying to PvP. And it's hard to PvP in this game, mainly because it's hard to find people to PvP against. Gold too. I don't even know how much gold's worth. Let's check it out. I'm bringing up trade tools. Data, commodities. Gold. But gold sells for, yeah, it's only 7,000. This like sells for the same amount as like neon. But you know, if you had a big ship, like a C2 or something, you could absolutely grab that. And it is, you know, to be fair, I believe that's a 24 container times 9,000. That's 200,000 AUEC right there. I opt to not take it because I'm rich.
Takeoff complete.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, my audio is just not... 222? There we go. How are you guys doing? My audio was totally freaked out there. That's crazy. I don't know what happened. Alright, so that was... Was that Pickers or Rappel? I forget. And for Pickers... Oh, maybe they're both the same. No. Yeah, we got Rappel. We're at Pickers. So, I mean, that's crazy, right? That was serious money. Did you guys lose my microphone? Like, did I go breaky up or something? Breaky up. Need to fly higher, I think. And those were not ships in the sky. I don't know what point my microphone dropped, but I had to like unplug my audio card and plug it back in. It was weird. Yeah, so highly repeatable, big money. Like Weevil legs are insane.
Docking unavailable. Landing gear raised.
Terry, what kind of computer do you have? What's your specs? Alright, let's go to Rappel and see if we can find Weevil legs there. Is today trash day? No, tomorrow's trash day.
Auto drive is now.
Uh-oh, someone's cargo ship's messed up over there. I guess you could get shot by the NPCs is probably the biggest danger. I mean, there can always be pirates, but it's like people aren't trying to get crime stat these days. For the most part. That's a pretty generic statement, considering I go out and kill people all the time. So many ships, man. Persistence really kind of ruined the game. They need to come up with something that makes ships... They need NPC salvage crews or something, because this is ridiculous. There are just so many ships everywhere. Doesn't look like we're gonna have the cargo here. Which, I did this before, you know, and I found the cargo, like, over the hill or something. Oh, maybe there's just not any here. That's fine. And there's also places that, you know, there's fobs and stuff. Yeah, and the amount of Polarises. But it's not even just the Polarises. I mean, there's 5, 6 ships there just abandoned. Crazy. Well, let's go sell. Since we're here, it's Orinith, right? Let's go make that 3 million or whatever. And then we'll go to another area. Maybe we'll check out Verse Guide and actually go to a fob. The problem is I don't know where all the missions are. We can look on the map and go to fobs, but yeah, I mean, salvaging is not even really meta anymore, Rick. Like, salvaging was so good because the Vulture came out. They wanted to sell copies of the Vulture. So at the time the Vulture came out, they're really, I mean, weave legs I guess have always been a thing, but I don't know, I feel like they're more prevalent now than they were before.
Quantum drive is now off.
So many people this morning. Everyone's in the Star Citizen this morning, huh? Yeah, I feel that, Rick, and I'm like, it's like I've got everything I need already. Like, I don't even, like, I was thinking about sending most of my money to my alt and buying good ships on my alt, because I only really play with the Cuddy Blue. But quite frankly, it's such a work, it's such a job to drive around and outfit a ship. Like, especially when you're crime stat 4 or 5. So I don't have any goals in Star Citizen. Like, honestly, my only goal is that I've been streaming on TikTok. So, I mean, it's fun to do the bad guy stuff because people like action, you know? But, I mean, like, right now I just woke up. I'm gonna play for, I'm probably just not more than an hour. I wanted to test the viability of this, and I really want to see how repeatable it is. But you know, it's like a job to play the game like a job. I don't want to get to that point right now because there's no real reward for it. Now, this could be a problem. My dog's whining, so I may actually just sell these eggs and call it. Gotta take care of my baby. But the fact of the matter is, I can go to these areas. I think I'm too close to the... You gotta be careful. If you're too close to the elevator, it won't let you send it down. I can't even see what I'm hitting. Oh, it's landing gear. Leonidas, buddy, come here. We'll go outside in a minute. Good boy. Yeah, do it again for 4.0. And then 4.0 is not, like, you know, 4.0 is such an interim patch. Like, what's going to be the next thing? Because we're to the point where they need to start publishing. We're to the point where they need to push the button and go online. You know, it's approaching, well, it's about to be 16 years. By the time we get to that point where we're like, it's time to grind, we're gonna be so sick of that initial phase, you know? I used to have like the hopium that they were gonna, you know, oh, you haven't seen what they're gonna do because there's 800 developers working on it right now, parallel development, yada yada yada, but now I know better. But we just had, and the other thing is, guys, we just had a fresh beginning too. So the reason we're saying that is because we're bored and we've already achieved content. Content's money, right? I don't want to set that down there because it may disappear. But that just goes to show, I mean, it's honestly a sad state of the game where it's only been, when was the last wipe? Like a year ago? Because that was a pretty major achievement. Like, they had a couple years of persistence. And then there was a wipe, and we all were like, "Oh, the wipe, the wipe." But I mean, it wasn't too long ago. And I think for some, they want the wipe because other people have too much stuff. And they don't want them to have it. Like, that's one of the sadistic things about Star Citizen. You see it all the time, and it's brilliant marketing on their part. They're selling a ship. Like, look at the Polaris commercial. The Polaris commercial is literally a dude getting old and ordering people around. That's literally the Polaris commercial. The Polaris commercial literally is selling the dream of being a captain. Like, if you look at the Polaris commercial, I don't think it's so much an ad for Polaris. I think it's an ad for being a captain and being in charge of other people and telling them what to do. And that's like the thing. You can't buy other people's compliance. Not in the game. People play a game to escape. So, unless you're in like one of these amazing orgs that has like military like progression goals and like strict discipline, like thinking old school WoW raiding guilds where you must attend, and like, how do you get people to get excited about that and follow in line and be part of your crew and log in at the right time for you to take your 20 crew ship out? Like, that's a real problem. And I think that the solution, they've already hinted at a solution, is selling compliant AI. Maybe that's how they get their progression. Maybe that's how they make their money in the future, is you can make all this stuff, but if you want workers, you gotta pay for it with real money. Like, I don't, you know, I usually fly because I'm a better pilot, and I'll prove that by beating you in PvP. But if I wasn't a better pilot, I would absolutely sit by the side. Or if we're doing like missions, like, I don't know, I've always been responsible for my money, you know, like. And what I mean by that is, like, when trading, sometimes you risked a lot and the game would take it a lot. You would lose a lot. So I felt better when I was flying because I could mitigate the loss by just being better at it. You know, I've always been a pilot. Like, I've been a fly guy since like Microsoft Flight Simulator 1. So there's a lot of people that aren't that good, and maybe they should sit in the like co-piloting is boring, you know, a support role. There are people that like the support role for sure, but the amount of people that want to be the pilot versus the support role is tremendously unbalanced, and that's a real problem. Like, look at almost 3.5 million, not almost, over $3.5 million. All right, let's go check out the rigs. Let's see if we can find more of these. Oh, I should really come back and do more later. Yeah, big money, man. This little trick I found. And so here's where I found them. I found them at, we just went to, was it Pickers we found them at, right? Or was it Rappel? I forget, the first one. And then on Microtech, I found them bearing 160 from SMO 13. So I think that's a fob. I know it's a mission area. I looked on Microtech. I had set using Verse Guide. I'll show you how to find them. Let me get flying up, and I'll quickly brief on how to find these fobs, because they're not places you can jump to. And the ones you can't jump to, if you go look and find them, first of all, please let me know, because it's for science, right? I'm really curious to what the spawn points are. But let's look and see how we find these.
Landing gear raised.
Apart from actually just flying to Pickers, which obviously that's an easy one to go to, you could fly to like Cutter's rig. Let's just do it. Let's see which other ones we can go to. I wish there was an easier way to zoom in. I hate having to do this. Okay, so like Weeping Cove, probably one of them. Yeah, Finn's Folly's probably one of them. Let's look. So there's a website called Verse Guide. And Verse Guide's pretty brilliant because it's navigation in Star Citizen. I'm going to set course to Finn's Folly just because I'm in Moby and I want to make sure I'm flying up. Oh, we're good. We're at altitude. We're high enough. So we go to Verse Guide. And Verse Guide allows you to look at the planets, and it allows you to navigate. Bing is terrible. Bing is not loading. Is it just verseguide.com? Microsoft, get your crap together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to browse. And it's going to bring up the planets. We click on Hurston. It's going to show us Hurston. Now we can turn daylight nightlight on. We show hidden locations. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off like all this crap because it makes it cloudy. And I don't know if an outpost. Nope, outpost we don't want. So derelict settlements are probably, Finn's Folly is one of them. I click here and you can look at the actual, there's not much there, right? It's just a wreck. Let's go to Finn's Folly and see. So the other cool thing is we can jump here, but if we couldn't, well, let's go back. Let's look at one we can't. Let's look at a fob. So here's a fob. Trillo's a fob. And if you click here, when you click the circle, it just shows you everything in the circle. So here's the fob, right? These may have them too, I'm not sure. You can't jump here. So if you click on directions, it'll show you fly to Dupree, point compass to 1.2. At 2 kilometer altitude, it'd take 13 minutes. But we're going to do 1,000 meters a second because we'll go faster. So it's 1/4 of that. And that's how we find the fobs. They're on, fobs, caterpillar wrecks. They're all over the place. Yeah, it's brilliant. And it'll show you everything. Like if you want to look at derelict outposts, you want to look at crashes, wreck sites. I click here, it'll show me everything in the circle. Derelict outpost, a crash satellite. What's this derelict outpost? This is the kind of place that may have them too. Pretty cool site. And like, that's another one of my big gripes is Star Citizen. Like, they don't really do things. They started claiming like immersion and blah blah, but then like we don't have compasses that work right. You know, like there's no navigation other than clicking on something and pressing a magic button to get there. So that is the closest thing you have to celestial navigation. Like fly here, hold a heading this way. And so the other thing about that page is there's triangulation. So let me show you this too, right? If you're gonna go to these places, this is important because this is how like you would find something. Because once you get close, you may screw up. Oh, I hate it. Verse guide. Let me actually type in verseguide.com. Okay, so like, well, let's go somewhere else. Let's go to Arial. We'll see how many fobs are on Arial. So we got to turn show hidden locations on. I always like to do it nighttime, daytime to see where we're at. All right, we're gonna turn on rec sites and fobs. So here's a fob. So this fob, this is probably a good place to go check. When you hit directions, it gives you this, right? So you go to Lathan, you point 41.8, you fly, but you want to know your distance. So your distance is going to be 2379.49. So once you start flying there, open your map and go to like, where are we going? Folly, whatever. Wind's Folly. When you hit navigation, it's going to show you your current distance here or here. Every time you open the map, it'll refresh that. So set your distance to Lathan when you're flying that direction, and then you can have 2 every couple minutes to see where your distance is. Once you're close or at that distance, if you don't see it, you can triangulate down here. Clear your route and look around the OMs and get your distance there and there and there. And once you get your distance to match on 3 of them, you look down and you'll be right above it. So that's the closest thing we have to navigation in Star Citizen. I do it all the time because I love going to the unmarked locations because people go out there and do missions. So you probably won't see it when you see me log in. If I'm doing bad guy things, a lot of times you hear me typing or like I'll be talking to you, but I won't be moving. A lot of times the reason for that, and you'll see me on the map, like I'll set nav and you'll see me pop up the map and check. That's because I'm basically dead reckoning. I'm going to a known location and flying a bearing for a time and trying to dead reckon to a location. And then we have GPS coordinates to check our work afterwards. But you can't just go on the map and say, I want to go here and have the nav computer tell you how to get there. That's stupid. Like, we've had that for, when did Loran come out? 20 or 30 years ago? GPS, the predecessor to GPS, Loran. And now GPS, we have it on every phone. My Fitbit that I just bought has it on. So here is a place that does not have cargo. I've not seen that level of reclaimer wreck. That's a pretty serious wreck. Now let me do this. I'm gonna go to scan mode just to make sure. What incredibly punishing terrain. I don't need to land because there's nothing here but maybe some NPCs to kill me. I'm just curious to like, will this thing even land here? Oh, and our doors are open again. When we alt tab, our doors open. That's the thing. Is this the same layout as Ghost Hollow or is it different? So that's another gripe, is they sell these huge ships, but man, it's almost as if they're building these maps. Like, look, we can barely land here, and granted, I could probably do a bit better job. Like, I could go over here, back up a little bit, a little bit more even terrain. But like, there's really not a lot of places you can land these big ships, huh? Another game I play has really bad terrain. Last Oasis. It's a game of walkers. And the maps are absolute aids for the walkers. Oh, there's a fire. Sign of life. Not that. That's a thing in this game. What do you mean there's nobody here? There's no NPCs here. Who's fighting? Who's feeding the fire? It's a perpetual fire. Yeah, Terrapin's such a cool ship. Terrapin's a cool ship. Alright, we're gonna head out to space and Bedlock. I'll show you what I did in my CCU game. I'm proud of it. Show off my... So, my fleet has been updated. This is what I currently have. Here, I'll do it this way, and I'm gonna... Wait. Okay, do I have loners hidden? No. Yeah, loners are not on there for some reason. So this is my actual fleet. So my original big purchase was the 600i. Yeah, I do, $10,000. What I just recently did is I got rid of, well, I got this. And, well, let's go to the very first page. This is the package to end all packages. This is $650. It has a Terrapin, a Carrack, a Freelancer Dur, a Dragonfly Black, and then I have that CCU'd. It's not actually a Hornet. It's a that's the buggy, the 4x4. But anyway, this comes out of savings. If you look at my CCU game, and you look at a Terrapin, the savings on that package is 34%. So basically allows me to have a lot more. Like some of these ships that I have, like even if you look at my original 600i, my 600i was only $335. So it's 29% off of the list price. And it's because it's a CCU chain. But that's from 2018. And I really didn't understand or get into CCUs until a little late in the game. But the point is that I have, you know, my Carrack is only worth $400. But that's great because that means that I spent $400 on it and it CCUs at full value. So if I was to CCU that to an Orion, it only cost me $50. So my savings is, yeah, I basically, I didn't spend any new money. And I have another one of those. This package, I have another one in buyback. So on my next token, I'm going to melt a lot of stuff that doesn't... look at this. Look at this package. So this was probably the best savings you could get in the game. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $695. I thought it was $650. But still... Look at that package. And it includes the game and Squadron 42. So, I mean, that's a serious package. Yeah, only $400. I know it's crazy that I'm like, oh, I saved hundreds of dollars. And I've saved thousands of dollars, really, is the reality. But it's savings in value in video game pixels. So I understand how crazy that sounds. To some, and it really is. But look, I live in the entertainment business. Like, I go to a VIP table, and I've been at VIP tables where we spend $40,000 on booze for the night. You know, so I'm not saying that that's smart, but the reality is, if you go to Vegas, that's where it is. You know, like, my business has existed in the world of hosting those events, and, you know, we'd have $30,000, $40,000 in liquor sales a night. So I've heard other people say the same thing, is sitting at home and playing a video game is sometimes healthier for some, depending on your lifestyle. Like, Star Citizen kept me from going out at least 100 times. And I don't go out and not spend, especially in this day and age. Like, you can't go to the movies for less than $100. So I am not encouraging you to spend any money in this game at all. In fact, I discourage you to spend money in the game. But I was experiencing the best growth that Star Citizen ever had, and it really seemed like they were doing a great job. Is my gear down or something? I'm going super slow. Okay, so I pushed N. Maybe the server's dying? My gear won't go up. Afterburners work. That's really weird. That's a weird bug. Did I damn? No. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. Like, when I was playing the game and buying those ships, a lot was happening. There was a lot of great promises. They were falling behind a little bit, and they were always a little late. But, this was 2018. You know, how many years ago was that? 7 years ago when I really started buying my first ship? Let's see, when did I buy? We can look and see. This was the first big one, right? So this was 2018, end of 2018 is when I bought that. When we look at my first, I'm curious to see. So I pledged in 2012, and then I really wasn't playing the game until 2018, because that's when, I mean, I bought ships before this and melted them, but these are when I realized LTI and whatnot. So it wasn't until 2018 that I actually put real money into the game, and there was a lot happening around the game at that time. It seemed like it was just going to be a year or two, and then it was 7. So back then, it was really justifiable. And back then, like, buying a $300 ship, well, that was just like, okay, well, I'm just not going to spend that at the bar. And it was never a concern. It's not like I spent money I didn't have. But now I'm jaded, and now, like, I don't believe anything the devs say. So after, like, probably, I don't know when it happened, but a couple of years ago, it seemed that there was a shift from actually trying to do what you're saying you're doing to, like, hey, we're a company and we need to keep this thing going forever. And I think that's just where we're at. I think we are now at a point where they're milking the whales, and they just proved it. Like, I thought for sure that this year CitizenCon would be down from the last, not CitizenCon, IAE, and especially at CitizenCon, seeing them, like, there's just so many people going, we've had enough. I thought for sure it was time. I still can't put my gear up. Maybe if we get out of the seat. I thought for sure, like, this was the year that we start to see the decline, but they proved me wrong. They have less people. They absolutely have less people and less new accounts. But there's a problem with that number. The less new accounts coincide with them not having... Yeah, my gear won't go up. Oh. Weird. I've not seen... Everything else works on the ship. Let's try the manual gear button. Did I damage the gear? I've never seen that before. Well, that's unfortunate. My dog is whining and it's starting to drive me nuts because I need to take him out. But I need to get to space so I can log. Leon, come here, buddy. Lay down. Lay down. Come on, lay down. Come here, good boy. Now. I don't know why my gear won't go up. Like, this is another, like, that's a weird bug. And again, it's not my joystick. I'm not even in the settings where I can turn my gear down right now. Totally crazy. So I had to afterburn to get out of atmosphere so I can log. So yeah, that's my blurb on Star Citizen and how much money I spent and how I feel about the devs. I talk about it all the time, everybody does. If you are making content for Star Citizen, you are probably talking about the dev team. I have Virpil Alpha on the right and the Virpil Throttle on the left. Maybe alt-tabbing caused it. My spacebar doesn't seem to be working all the time either. That was weird. Yeah, VKB Gladiator, good. Hello, I do not. I mean, so there's rumors that the investors, the Calders, are demanding product viability. And there's rumors that to appease the court system because they're afraid of getting class action or sued, which would be the end of the company. They're not big enough to absorb a class action. They don't have enough money in the bank for it. That they're trying to get to a point where they release everything tier 0. Because they can say a feature's in. If it's in the game and it doesn't work, they could say they worked on it, they released it, you know? There's no... Like, as long as you're trying, it's not a scam. Did I lock my own ship somehow? I wonder what I did. But maybe that's it. Who knows? Like, we just don't know what's going through their head. We just don't. Okay, now I can't steer. I'm doing 300. This has got to be a server. The server's got to be dying because I'm doing 385 meters a second. I don't have afterburners on and my gear's down. We'd be limited to 30 meters a second with our gear down. I was afterburning. I want them to fix the bugs. Hello, it drives me nuts. I was just talking about earlier. Here's an. If you play Star Citizen, do this. Put a piece of paper in front of you. Get a pen. And every little bug you encounter, whether it's a button that doesn't work, or you click on a button and it goes through and clicks another button, or your inventory doesn't open one time, or you go to drink a bottle and you throw it accidentally, write down every little bug that happens in a play session. It's insane the amount of stuff that quality of life is not fixing. There is no QC. And that's insane to me. It's the only game I've ever played that they don't fix really aggravating things that literally cause people to rage quit. There is a theory that the bugs reduce the player count, which reduces the cost of servers. Business model, you know? Yeah, I have no left, right, up, down control. So, well, I showed you guys how to make millions of dollars. I don't know exactly where they all are, but you did see that there were some at Pickers. I do know at least 1 or 2 other locations I've seen the boxes. But check out those fobs. Check out those bases. If you're doing Save Stanton, I would love to see a list of places to do the mission. I guess I could log on an alt and get the missions and do them, and then make the money. Like, that would be something I could do. I would have to send myself money to buy a Taurus or something, but I mean, that's very doable. I could even just rent a Taurus to do it. So I may do that. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. It's only 7 in the morning. I feel like it's noon already. I woke up very early today. Good morning. So I'm gonna take care of my dog, and I'm actually gonna make a trip to Dunkin' because I don't have... I always drink iced coffee because I live in Florida. And my roommate has a coffee maker, but I haven't had a coffee maker in years because I only have a cold brew, like a infuser. So I'm gonna go get myself a coffee and a turkey croissant. The server's working because it's so strange. I'm just locked out of being able to play right now. But we're in space, so we can bedlog maybe. When I come back, I'm gonna probably do that. I'm gonna probably send myself. Well, I have enough money to rent a Connie Taurus. So I think I'm gonna do do those missions and purposely do them and fail them just to write down the locations and check for weevil eggs and whatnot, because that's pretty cool if you can do that. Alright, I can log out. So you guys get out there, find those weevil eggs, add me on Discord, same name. Join my Star Citizens Discord. It's a non-org affiliated Star Citizens only Discord. You can talk poorly about the game if you want. You can talk great about the game. We play Star Citizen. We do love it. I know I seem like a negative Nancy, but I think that there's not enough people that are making noise. And it's kind of my thing. Like there's a couple games that I absolutely love the game. I play it all the time. I enjoy playing with my homies. Meet new homies all the time doing it. But you know, I don't want to glorify something that needs work. Like, it's better. They've already got their $800 million. They're doing okay. I'm not going to hurt their business or cause them financial duress. And if I do cause them financial duress, well, they know that they can look at, not that they ever will, they know they can look at what I'm complaining about and fix it. So, you know, I think I'm doing the community a service by being a Karen. With that being said, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one. I'll be back probably in about an hour.